The world that we live in can be compared to a large tapestry that is available to the brushstrokes of our own personal energy and vision. A number of people are of the opinion that every single idea and every single spark of emotion travels through invisible layers of existence, thereby influencing the day-to-day environment in ways that are both subtle and deep. However, it is likely that the canvas that many people have been painting on is merely a small part of a much larger picture. There may be a refined domain beyond the tangible world of physical matter and linear time, where intentions crystallize without any struggle, and where the typical borders of space and time begin to melt. This realm may be found beyond the realm of existence. In some circles, this world is referred to as the fifth dimension, which is a state that is beyond the more intense vibrations that are associated with ordinary life. In this location, the manifestation of one's deepest desires can take place with an ease that is equivalent to breathing. This is because the understanding that everything begins on an energetic level is the foundation of this region. It has been pointed out by some that dimensions are not actual places that can be visited, but rather states of consciousness that can be embodied. The third dimension, which is well known to be the location of physical reality and being organized by logic, is frequently characterized by a feeling of isolation and having limitations. There is a preponderance of action and effort in this region, and many people continue to be trapped in repetitive patterns, repeating the same lessons because they are anchored by fears, expectations, or other restraints. When a person has a third-dimensional worldview, their experiences are frequently influenced by external factors such as caution, physical demands, or the notion that they need to demonstrate their success by external accomplishments. On the other hand, there is a construct that some people refer to as the fourth dimension. This construct acts as a transitional bridge that leads to states that are more broader. It continues to exhibit signs of duality, with conceptions of good and bad, gains and losses, but it starts to shed light on the idea that thoughts and emotions are just as influential in shaping reality as physical action is. By fostering a more profound sense of self-awareness, this perspective encourages individuals to become aware of the fact that their internal condition has a discernible influence on the external environment. Despite this, constraints and oscillations continue to exist, since it can be challenging to let go of the remnants of anxiety and expectation. A sense of wholeness, fluidity, and openness to an unlimited number of possibilities are some of the characteristics that some people attribute to the fifth dimension. Here, time is frequently regarded as being less rigid, and life can have the feeling of flowing in a harmonic manner. It would appear that opportunities and synchronicities occur without the same grinding effort that is necessary in the denser states. It is more effective for folks to understand how to vibrationally connect with what they desire rather than trying to force events to occur. When viewed from this perspective, manifestation is no longer about forcing one's circumstances into a certain shape. Rather, it transforms into a process of becoming the same energy representing one's goals. The idea that everything is energy first and then the physical manifestation comes after it is a fundamental principle that underpins these ideas. Some people believe that ethereal vibrations, such as thoughts, sentiments, and intentions, are responsible for shaping the world of form. By concentrating one's attention intently on a want, one might awaken the possibility for that desire on an energetic level. The concept of heart takes on a much greater meaning when viewed from this angle. The electromagnetic field that is emitted by the heart is said to be far more powerful than the one that is produced by the mind while it is engaged in thought. The heart is valued as a spiritual center that facilitates entry to a more profound level of consciousness in a variety of traditions, including certain schools of thought within the Hindu religion. From this vantage point, it is claimed that the path toward higher vibratory levels becomes more direct, so avoiding some of the overthinking and doubt that can occur in procedures that are entirely cerebral. It is said that the practice of bringing one's awareness to the core of the heart is a potent method to approach the process of manifestation. Becoming motionless, taking deep breaths, and visualizing a warm, radiant light emanating from the center of one's chest are all required steps in carrying out this practice. A person is guided to feel love, gratitude, and openness through this practice, which is not only a mental exercise, but also an emotional shift. Some people believe that the process of putting an intention into physical form might be sped up when the emotional resonance is in line with the outcome that is being envisioned. It is possible to reorient one's interactions with the world via the daily practice of heart-based attention, which can infuse one with more compassion, patience, and a sense of oneness with everything that exists. Some people find that visualizing themselves climbing through several levels of reality is a straightforward sort of visualization that can have a profound effect. Envision entering an elevator and realizing that each floor corresponds to a separate dimension. On the third floor, there is a tremendous amount of activity, chaos, and competition. The fourth floor has a lighter atmosphere, and there is a growing awareness that mental patterns have an effect on the world around us. The doors leading to a sense of living that is less hurried and more orderly are opened. On the fifth floor, a person can feel all desires existing in their entirety, waiting to be selected according to their preferences. Through the process of mentally stepping into that realm and receiving the energy of one's highest vision, a bridge is established between that exalted state and the life one leads on a daily basis. In the process of descending back into ordinary consciousness, the individual carries with them a portion of the enhanced frequency they experienced. Repeating this visualization can help reinforce the conviction and energy alignment necessary for effortless manifestation. For progressing into finer dimensions, letting go of old habits is essential. Worries, concerns, or lingering resentments can burden a person, keeping them tied to a denser reality. Acknowledging outmoded narratives about unworthiness, fear of failure, or the need for external validation may be required to engage in the process of letting go. Some people find it helpful to write down limiting beliefs on paper and dispose of it in a ritualistic manner. Others practice meditation to release these energies and transform them into light. This is not about repressing feelings, but about observing them, learning from them, and intentionally deciding to move beyond their influence. Manifestation in the fifth dimension does not require abandoning rational thought, but merging it with a more expanded understanding of unity and interconnectedness. Rather than rejecting logic, the individual transcends patterns that confine the mind to fear or lack. When the mind and heart are in harmony, the urge to take action arises spontaneously. Inspired movement replaces struggle, and this sense of alignment becomes the predominant feeling. When one is living in a higher vibrational state, one can compare their life to a dance. The dancer does not pay attention to each step, but rather has faith in the rhythm and is familiar with the flow of the dance. In a similar manner, when viewed from the perspective of the fifth dimension, occurrences and possibilities are arranged in patterns that can be perceived and interacted with. Moments of serendipity and coincidence are not the result of random chance. Rather, they are a reflection of the observer's internal condition. The greater one's capacity to maintain a state of thankfulness, optimism, and openness, the greater the likelihood that life will mirror back experiences that are consistent with that frequency. There are other traditions, such as specific streams within the Hindu worldview, that contain references to extended levels of awareness that are in agreement with these dimensional ideas. A number of different contemplative disciplines and spiritual paths teach their followers to recognize the fundamental unity that exists in the universe. Some individuals have the perception that life becomes more pliable when they cultivate compassion, turn inside, and calm their minds. They believe that this allows them to be steered by their intentions rather than by coincidence. Through regular practice over a period of time, it is possible to cultivate a steady vibrational resonance with these higher frequencies. It is essential to emphasize the fact that the discussion of dimensions and frequencies continues to be a hypothesis in the realm of subjectivity for many people. On the other hand, there is a rising debate, even among certain scientific circles, over the possibility that consciousness is not restricted to the physical brain alone and could interact with more subtle layers of reality. Other models imply that the intangible qualities of consciousness might impact matter more than is widely acknowledged, in contrast to the materialistic models, which center their attention on visible characteristics. This does not go against the concept of scientific inquiry. Rather, it encourages a more expansive perspective that may include personal experience, conscious observation, and experimenting with an open mind. One of the more profound messages that is frequently conveyed by individuals who are in agreement with these concepts is that the ability to mold reality is innate to each and every person. When a person comes to terms with the fact that their thoughts, feelings, and intentions are all powerful manifestations of energy, they enter a new level of empowerment. It appears to be more practical to manifest desires that are in accordance with one's greatest good when one is rooted in the higher frequencies of love, compassion, and trust. It is possible to tune in to a frequency where life feels like an extension of one's inner creativity, rather than always laboring in a lower dimension. This is a significant improvement. This viewpoint, on the other hand, is not about escaping reality or obtaining instant fulfillment. Even from the perspective of the fifth dimension, there are potential obstacles to overcome. However, when viewed from a heart-centered perspective, challenges frequently disclose more profound lessons and are resolved more smoothly. This is because from that heightened awareness, problems reveal deeper lessons. In order to adopt such a perspective, one must practice patience, engage in self-reflection, and be willing to let go of patterns that were once considered normal, but now appear to be out of date. There are some individuals who discover that the act of letting go of old baggage makes room for new ideas and a more profound sense of connection with life itself. Living one's life in line with the ideals of the fifth dimension, over the course of time, transforms the mundane into a rich tapestry of possibilities. An ordinary stroll outside can transform into a joyful communion with the natural world. It is possible to get the impression that mundane tasks are opportunities to cultivate presence and appreciation. It's possible that the feeling of being hurried or stuck will go away, and in its stead will come a calm assurance that everything is moving along at the appropriate pace. Because the external world is beginning to match the higher frequency that is occurring within, this newly discovered ease can spread to other areas, such as relationships, finances, and creativity. This process, according to many beliefs, not only serves the purpose of personal gain, but also serves the purpose of benefiting the larger collective. When one person performs at a higher vibration, it has the potential to have a domino effect on other people, pushing them to function at a higher frequency as well. The increased frequency, which is similar to a tuning fork, has the ability to resonate with others in the vicinity and to ignite alterations in subtle ways. Some people believe that this collective upliftment adds to an overall expansion of human consciousness, paving the way for a path that includes empathy, generosity, and improved care of the world. A private retreat, the fifth dimension, can also be seen as a stepping stone toward a more harmonious collective existence. In a nutshell, the fifth dimension can be regarded through this lens. The fundamental idea that reality is changeable and can be influenced by more than simply physical activities is the foundation upon which everything else is built. The mind, which is directed by wisdom that is based on the heart, is the one that wields the brush that paints the personal canvas of each individual. However, by practicing techniques that foster alignment and coherence, such as meditation, heart-focused breathing, visualization, or mindful release of old baggage, the possibility of effortless creation becomes more tangible. This is because the perspective of denser realms may give the impression that life is a never-ending struggle. A person will eventually come to the realization that they are an active player in the unfolding symphony of existence, rather than that they are an observer from the outside looking in. The fabric of reality encompasses a great deal more than what is immediately apparent. Recognizing that every individual contributes to it through their own distinctive energetic signature has the potential to incite a renewed commitment to embody the greatest frequency that is potentially achievable. At each and every instant, the decision is presented to you. Either continue to abide by the well-established patterns of limitation or embrace the lighter and more expansive experience of being. To those who opt for the latter, it is possible that they may discover that as their perspective changes, the world around them also changes. To view the physical plane not as a suffocating prison, but rather as a launching pad for the discovery of deeper dimensional states, is the invitation, which is both ongoing and open-ended. When viewed in this light, reality can function as an infinite canvas that is prepared for conscious alteration through the application of alignment and the intention of the heart.